All right, let's bring in our first guest, Michael Graham. He's a politics editor for Inside Sources, Boston Herald columnist, contributor at CBS News. Did I say anything that you will want to take issue with, first of all, Michael?
Well, let's start with Stacey Abrams. I was a talk host in Atlanta for a couple of years and got to interview her several times. She's very smart. She knew what she was saying. And she knows, as Democrats do, that the message that they're pitching, and it's not just her. It was interesting, the comments from Schumer and others before the speech about how terrible the economy is, that people are this paycheck to paycheck, they have to have more jobs, as Ocasio-Cortez says. It's just not true. We have data. And it's just annoying. There's plenty of things to hate Trump for. There are plenty of things to complain about. There are things to be concerned about the economy. What are we going to do as the economy continues to get more tech-friendly and tech-savvy, and we have these working people, particularly men with a high school education, who aren't set for that economy? But to make up this crazy notion that in a time when blue-collar wages are rising faster as a percentage than white-collar wages is just false. But I step back to the State of the Union address. I keep asking myself, so what, Bill? What does this mean for tomorrow and tomorrow? You said that he's launching his campaign. I didn't see him reaching out beyond the 41% that the president has. What did I miss?
Well, I agree that he wasn't going to pander to people who are undecided about him. But I think that the way he presented the wall issue, the economy issue, energy and others, if you're undecided about Donald Trump, he stayed pretty much in the fact zone. And facts are the way to persuade people. And I think that he did that pretty well.
You know, it's interesting you note that the survey that CBS did, and I was obviously at CBS last night in New York doing commentary, that they had a sample that oversampled Republicans. Well, there's a reason for that. Since the Clinton era, we've gone from remember the days when there were 3 channels, Bill, and they would shove speeches on all of them? So I was a kid and I wanted to watch $6 Million Man, and I couldn't because some stupid politician was talking. Well, those days are gone. People can got a million channels, and when Democrats are in power, Democrats watch the State of the Union. When Republicans are in power, Republicans watch. And that's another challenge. I thought it was interesting. I think that the president's speech was, in fact, well received. My Twitter feed from the Republicans I follow, kind of the grassroots guys, loved it. But who's to hear besides Republicans?
It would be so much better if all these polling outfits would just do it 50-50. All right? I mean, it'd just be so much better. Because if you skew it to one party, you're going to get a higher performance.
Right.
That the speech was good. Look, I believe that most Americans who watched it, who don't hate Trump, take the haters out,
right?
The 30% who hate him. I'd say most Americans say, yeah, it was a pretty good speech. You know, I really don't oppose much of what he's saying. It makes sense. And speeches are supposed to make sense. Now, I believe that was his kickoff speech. As I said, he's going to El Paso, Texas on Monday to do a rally because El Paso is a good wall story. I gave him a really good wall story when I saw him on Air Force One on Friday about San Diego. He mentioned San Diego, but he didn't give the stats that I gave him. But that's all right. But I think that now he's kicked off his campaign, and he's going to go forward with some momentum. Would you say that's accurate?
Well, I think people are so mired into where they are. I don't know how you get momentum off of a speech that is covering such familiar territory. Here's what I think. I ran campaigns back in the day, you know, at most of the state, state level. I think he needs one more story to add that is completely where his base isn't. Not that they would hate it, but you know what I mean? He needs a topic that sounds fresh and new coming out of Trump's mouth that makes the person who held their nose in 2016 and decided to jump on board, take a fresh
story is
look
gas
at it.
prices. Gas prices have declined about $1 a gallon. And he didn't mention that. He said, you know, we're self-sustaining, but gas prices are going down. One further question for you. He's going to declare a state of emergency, I believe, if they don't get a deal. And that will now become his controversial thing. I don't know how Americans are going to come down on it. But that's coming. What do you think about that?
I think Americans won't like it because one of the things that I think appealed to this about the speech last night is that it was Washington doing the stuff it's supposed to do. I think people loved it when Trump got all the women to jump up and start cheering, and he joked with them and kept them standing. And people were like, oh, look, this thing, this government thing that I really don't want to care about because I'd much rather have fun talking about something else is working. And when you declare an emergency in an area where a president hasn't before, where you're cutting this new ground, that won't work. And also, Bill, a group of Republicans are going to hate it, because they're going to hate the precedent that it sets for the future.
They know the danger.
I don't know.
They know the danger of not rallying behind him. Hey,
Look,
Michael,
I'm not ready for President Beto. I don't want President Beto O'Rourke declaring climate change an emergency and forcing us all on the solar panel. Yeah.
I understand that down the road, but President Trump will not be reelected unless they build that wall, at least part of it. So
okay.
That.